Hey everybody, welcome into the post-game recap for the Mariners game tonight. A 5-3 win over the Angels, their fifth win in a row. They improved to 34-39 as they win game number, I always say this wrong, they win their 34th game in game 73 of the season. I apologize, was not able to get a video up last night. Just had some family stuff to attend to. Ended up getting home around like midnight and I was just exhausted. Then I had some stuff I had to do this afternoon. I had to work today, so I didn't want to do kind of a video this morning, talk about the game last night. But just with work and everything this morning, was not able to get to it. So, yeah, unfortunately not able to get a video out, for yesterday's game. But a nice win last night for the Mariners as well. They clinched the series here. They're 5-0 on the road trip. You can't complain, even if they do drop tomorrow's game, which hopefully they don't. Hopefully they complete another sweep here. But even if they do, you can't be too upset right now with this road trip. Anytime you secure a winning road trip, it's a good thing, let alone at worst 5-1. I apologize for the yawning. It is 10:39. I swear the Mariners never have 2-hour games. They take a lot of pitches. They draw a lot of walks, which is awesome. But boy, it makes some of these games go long. So let's get into it. It's been fun to talk about this team the last week or so after really, my first set of videos that I did for this team was during the first series against the Angels last year, where they lost 4-5, and it was kind of miserable to talk about that. And tonight they, or this week they've really dug in and just they're winning. They sweep Oakland and now take the first two here. Start with the offense. I haven't made a video since Ty France went on the injured list. I did talk about the injury a little bit in my post-game recap for Game 3 against Oakland, but Ty France has gone on the injured list, or injured IR. Is it IL? It's IL, right? IR is football, IL is baseball. With that, I think it's the elbow that's bothering him. Definitely, it sounds like it could have been a lot worse. But also, I think the wording Ty used is this is the best of the worst case scenarios. You know what I mean? So out of all the things that could have gone wrong, the worst, this is the best of it. But it's also not the best thing that could have happened either. And they talk about not rushing it and not rushing him back. So I don't expect that he will be back within right away after those 10 days. I would venture to say, and I don't want to be pessimistic, but I think 3 to 4 weeks is a fair assumption here, because he talked about rushing back that wrist injury last year, and that kind of being a mistake because he struggled when he came back. So I think he's going to be really cautious with this injury, and I think the team is as well. And the good news is the more they win, the more cautious they can be. I don't think the Mariners are going to be in any position to not want to get him back. It's not like they're the Yankees where they're going to be like 40 games up or anything like that. But winning does buy you a little time with this. The Mariners are in a hole. I'm not trying to sound like they're in a playoff spot here and that they don't need Ty France back ASAP. But the more you win, the more you can sort of kind of push it back a little bit. And the schedule is favorable here over the next couple weeks. So, maybe they can survive this injury. And so far, they're 2-0 without Ty. If you can play 500 ball without your best hitter, maybe your best play overall, you're going to be in good shape. Looking at the box score here, which for some reason won't come up for me. Oh, there it is. Okay. Julio again. I almost forgot because it was in the first inning. Another home run. He homered last night. Opening day, he's now got 11. That thing was crushed off Patrick Sandoval. He's only given up 2 home runs coming into tonight. He's now getting up 3. 2 of them to the Mariners. Dylan Moore, now Julio. He also drew a walk. One thing I was going to talk about, I noticed in his walk, he got ahead 3-0. Actually, the pitch he walked now was probably a strike. But I noticed he got ahead 3-0, and Sandoval was super cautious and careful with how he pitched Julio. And Julio does have a good eye, but he's going to draw his walks very similar as his career progresses, the same way that guys like Miguel Cabrera drew their walks. It wasn't that their eye was their best trait. Like Jesse Winker has a fantastic eye. He draws walks because he just has amazing plate discipline and can do that. Julio's is good, but he's not like Jesse Winker level. But what's going to happen is pitchers are going to become so afraid to face him that he's going to get walks. The Sandoval walk, you could tell he was pitching around Julio. I don't think he wanted to walk him, but he was trying to get him to chase. He wasn't going to give Julio a good strike to hit just to get one over, just to cookie cutter one in there. So you're going to start to see, I wouldn't be shocked if Julio does start drawing more walks because pitchers are going to be a little more afraid to face him. Gino, 2 hits today. He did strike out with the bases loaded in the 6th. And that was going to be the story of this game. Patrick Sandoval, just like Michael Lorenzen last night, threw a ton of pitches. I think he was at like 77 through the first 3 innings. But the Mariners just weren't capitalizing. They had the Julio home run in the 1st, but they left the bases loaded in the 2nd. And I think they left a couple on in the 3rd or the 4th when Cal Raleigh had that leadoff double. And it looked like that was going to be the theme of the game. But they did eventually break through. I'll get to that in a minute. I did want to talk about something. I talked about on Twitter how this is such a game of inches sometimes. I think it was in the 2nd inning. J.P. Crawford came up, bases loaded, 3-2 count from Sandoval. Pitch that was outside. It was ball 4. You guys know me. I don't like to get into that blaming the ump game because there was a couple pitches on the Angels that I thought were balls that were called strikes. It usually goes around to both sides. But it did look like ball 4. JP very visibly upset, threw his helmet down. I actually thought he might get ejected at that time. And it was a pitch you could argue that JP should swing at to protect the plate a little bit with 2 strikes. But it was a ball. And then the next inning, Kurt Suzuki homered for the Angels. And it was a home run that I believe was only out in like 2 or 3 stadiums in baseball. It was not crushed by any means. Like I said, it was only out in 2 or 3 stadiums, and Cal Raleigh comes up and hits a double that, it hit the top of the wall. It was probably like this much further. It's a home run, and it would have been a home run in 21 ballpark. So talk about just 3 things there that were just little microscopic little differences. Like that could have easily just been called a ball on Julio, and it's 2-0. The Suzuki hit could have easily in any other park not been out. And then Cal's could have been, it could have been 3-0 just right there. If some of the circumstances in this game are changed. So it really does show how fine line there can be between winning and losing in baseball. And really a fine line between good teams and bad teams sometimes. I certainly don't think the difference between the Yankees and the Orioles, or actually the Orioles are playing pretty good ball. The Yankees and the A's maybe is this, but it sometimes can be a very minuscule difference in the game. And nothing to that. I just thought it was kind of interesting. The Mariners did load the bases back up in the 6th inning I gotta remember a little bit more. I think Julio, because Winker had the Suarez struck out, so it was I think Cal singled Cal Raleigh again, or he walked. Dylan Moore, man, I need to pull this back up. Let me pull up the play-by-play here, and that's bad. I should remember that. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble remembering how that happened, but plays. Let's go to the 6th here. Cal Raleigh walked. Dylan Moore. That's right. Dylan Moore grounded out. Cal was out at second. It was actually a really good play by Tyler Wade to get Cal at second. So Dylan Moore then reached base, which that's not the worst thing in the world, flipping Raleigh for Dylan Moore at that speed. Dylan Moore stole second. JP walked. I forgot about the JP walk. And then Julio reached on the error by Wade. It could have been a double play. I don't think they would have doubled up Julio on that. It was a little bouncer. Wade tried to scoop it up quickly. It just kind of popped out of his glove. Then Gino struck out on a 3-2 pitch, and we're like, oh my gosh, here we go again. And I swear on everything I have that every at-bat, every time today the Mariners had the bases loaded, it was the dynamic trio of Kevin Padlo, Luis Torrens, and Justin Upton that were up. I mean, it just never failed. I feel like Kevin Padlo had 15 at-bats with the bases loaded tonight. And to his credit, he delivered a single through the right side. Good for him. I've kind of ripped him a little bit, and it's not his fault. He's in there. Ty France is hurt. It's him or Toro in there against a lefty. Not the worst thing in the world. I don't know about Padlo batting 5th. I might have had Dylan Moore a little bit higher, but I paid off. Padlo had the single, which scored 2 runs and ended up being pretty much the difference in the game. And then in the 8th inning, you had another Cal Raleigh double, I think, and then Justin Upton walked, and then Cal Raleigh doubled. So, listen, in terms of, I know people are frustrated the Mariners leaving a lot of guys on base, but, guys, Ty France is out. You no Mitch Haniger, you have no Kyle Lewis. The lineup is thin. This is fine. The last 2 nights have been fine. And the good news is their approach is still working. They might not have scored, but they did chase Patrick Sandoval after 5 innings. The Angels bullpen has struggled. They were able to get into it, and they put up 4 runs on the Angels bullpen. Last night they didn't hurt the bullpen as much, but they were able to chase Michael Lorenzen after 3 innings. The reason they're not hitting with runners in scoring position is because those top of the lineup guys, which are your better hitters, are the ones getting on, and then you're leaving it up to guys that just, the Kevin Padlows. And he had the hit, so I'm not trying to knock him, but Luis Torrens and Upton, who haven't been swinging the bat that well. I will say Justin Upton did reach base twice tonight, single and a walk. He does not have to be amazing, just be a little bit better than Toro, and we can work. But the problem is now with Ty France being out, you need these guys a little bit more to step up. So it's going to hurt, and I wonder if Jerry makes a move for somebody out there, because I just don't think you can run out Padlo, Dylan Moore, Toro at first base and hope it works out. Or, I mean, ask Jesse Winker to put on a first baseman's glove and get Jared Kelenic back in here. I don't know. That might be something that's stupid, but I mean, if Ty is going to miss some time, you don't want to lose out too much. But like I said, the good news is their approach stayed the same. They continue to work the count, get on base, and eventually it did pay off. You keep putting guys on, eventually you'll probably get one in. So let's go back to the box score. And then, another good game for Jesse Winker. He's been fantastic. Reached base 3 times. Cal Raleigh, 3 more hits. Just missed a home run. He is stinging the ball. Even in his last at-bat, he just missed a double by a little bit to have his 4th hit, and I thought it was stung as well. So, he continues to impress. Logan Gilbert gets the win, 5 2/3. Let me get down here. 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. I didn't think Logan had his best stuff, but this is when guys are becoming those great pitchers, because he didn't have his best stuff, and he went out and got the win against a lineup that contains Trout and Ohtani and some other tough guys. So, I remember there'd be games when I'd be like, boy, Felix doesn't look that good. And he'd have like 7 innings, 1 earned run. That was kind of Logan Gilbert tonight. Watching, I'm like, Logan doesn't seem as sharp. But I look at the end of the day, and that McKinnon RBI single for the Angels in the 6th just goes a little bit to the left, and that's fielded, and he's got 6 innings, 2 earned runs, and looks fantastic. 23rd start in a row that the Mariners stars have allowed 3 earned runs or less. Got to get that in there. Got to talk about Ryan Baracki. He came in the 7th inning and faced Trout, Ohtani, and Walsh. Shut him down 1, 2, 3. He's been a real nice addition. Haven't talked about that move too much, but he's doing what they wanted Anthony Misevich to do for them. You're getting from Ryan Baracki. Diego Castillo, a really nice inning for him in the 8th. Really clean, got that double play. Eric Swanson closed out in the 9th. Swanson's been fantastic this season, so I'm not going to knock him. He got the job done. He did not have good stuff tonight. His fastball, he almost hit Mike Trout right in the head. Scary moment there. Thank goodness Trout was able to get out of the way of that and avoid an injury. But Swanson, even the balls that were hit did not look all that sharp. He ended up getting Shohei Ohtani to fly out. Duffy led off the inning with a line drive caught by Winker. McKinnon walked, and then Taylor Ward, and there's Taylor Ward and Tyler Wade on the Angels. Oh my goodness. Taylor Ward flew out to Julio for the 2nd out, and then Trout was up. So just to D-walk and put him on. I would have pitched to him. I'd rather Trout tie it up than Ohtani beat me. Did get behind Trout 2-0. I don't have a huge issue with the walk there because you're behind in the count, and Trout, he'll swing at 3-0, and he would have had the green light there. There's no easy way to get around Trout Ohtani. I think that's kind of the bottom line. We can have these debates, but at the end of the day, there is no easy way to maneuver through those guys. And Swanson did not do it perfectly. He almost decapitated Mike Trout, and then Ohtani hit the ball pretty hard on the line, but Taylor Trammell was there. secured it and got the Mariners a well-earned victory. Not the prettiest one. Last night wasn't the prettiest one, but they don't have to be. The Mariners have now passed the Angels, gotten into third place in the division. That doesn't mean much, but you got to pass the teams that are in front of you. And they did that. Again, I haven't looked at the wild card standings much. I know coming into today, they were 6 games back. I don't know if it was Cleveland or Boston or Tampa. I think they're still 6 back. Until you get to 500, I'm not going to look at that too much. But yeah, I mean, not a lot else to say here. A nice win for the Mariners. Really, they're just starting to play good ball, and that's just more fun to watch, regardless of if they make a run at this thing or not. It is just more fun to watch your team win baseball games. Simple as that sometimes. Hopefully they can finish off the sweep tomorrow. Marco's on the mound. He was really good in Oakland his last time. Angels, they might have announced the starter already. They hadn't when time I started this video. So we'll see who goes for them. And yeah, I mean, you know, nice thing is we're seeing guys like Julio turn into studs. Cal Raleigh's really developing nice. And Jesse Winker's starting to hit. So this team is starting to become a little bit more fun to watch. So hopefully they can finish off the sweep tomorrow and, you know, keep this thing going. Then they come home from Baltimore and Oakland. So they do have a chance here, the next 8, to really make, this is a chance here to make something happen. So let's see if they can get that done. Please like, comment, subscribe. You know, like I said, just trying to make little increments in my subscriber count. Even if you're not a Mariners fan, baseball fan, I hope you enjoy these, just little recaps of the game. So like I said, please like, comment, subscribe. Really helps me out. I will see you guys and girls tomorrow. And as always, go M's.